And we're back for another wonderful day of talking about crypto. So, what am I going to go on about today is I'll tell you. I'm going to go over what I think are the safest coins to get into crypto market right now. And yes, I should probably quote when I say safe because a lot of people look at crypto like it's a gamble or it's a shot in the dark and it's very risky. It is a risk on asset, so it's riskier than like bonds. If you know what you're doing, I would debate about it being riskier than stocks. But it really comes down to, well, how much you know about it. Do you do your own research and do you do your own due diligence? Because you can make it gambling. You can just pick a random coin and throw $1,000 into it and see where it goes. Good luck. That is not what we're here for. All right. So what I want to go today is first, I want to tell you about why I think these are safe or like the criteria of the coins I'll talk about soon of why I think they're safe or what do I look for I'm saying a safer coin. So if you guys are going to fast forward, go straight to those, be my guest, but then you're going to miss out the whole background as to why I chose those in the first place. So let's kind of get into it. So hopefully by the end of this video, you find it worthwhile to subscribe, like, etc. And well, why am I considering certain coins safe? So a couple things I will not be doing first. I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin, right? I'm not going to talk actually about the top 5 coins. I think it's universally understood that those are safe coins. I'm talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, at this point, XRP, and Solana. And we can debate those, I guess, if you want, but for this video, I'm not, right? I'm going to put those in the category of they're relatively safe for crypto. And when I go through my rationales, the way I look for, I think you're going to understand because they should all hit the criteria. So again, also with safety and risk tolerance, we'll have a different amount, right? Like what I think is safe, you might still think that's a little too risky for me. So I need to go off of what I believe. So a couple other things that we end up seeing is one, with safe coins, I'm talking less volatility. And I'm also going to be picking coins that I think are safe to get right now. So obviously no financial advice, but these are ones that if I was looking for a safe play to enter, I would put into these. Some of these I own, not all of them I do. But one category or one characteristic, one check in the box, is certainly lower volatility. And that's actually a couple points in its own because what makes something more or less volatile? One is the market cap size. Look at I just said the top 5 coins, and those are top 5 by market cap. Because the more money that is in an asset, the more it takes for it to move. And typically, the higher that the market cap is, the more people that are in it. Granted, they can change a little bit if you have a coin that's worth 100,000 versus a coin that's worth a penny. Well, look at Shiba or Doge. They're not on this list, by the way. I also did not really put in memes. Those are safe for memes, but I'm not putting them in this category. I'm looking at utility altcoins. So another thing that deals with volatility is the high circulating coin count. There is one coin on this list today that is an exception to that, but hits all the other criteria. Again, because with volatility, the less coins there are, the more the price is going to go up or down when so many sell, right? So, I mean, if there is only 10 million coins of a certain crypto and someone buys 500,000 of them, well, that's a pretty big chunk already, versus if there are 3 billion coins. Again, makes a difference in terms of safety from the way I'm going to define it. So another thing is, has it been around for a while? So has it survived a bear and bull run? That's really what I'm looking for. A lot of crypto right now that you guys think are good, and a lot of them will do very well this bull run, and probably even some that are in the top 100, even the top 50 crypto right now will not be here by the end of the next bear market. So the ones I picked today, they've survived at least one full round. It tells you a lot about the survivability of crypto. Is has people bought it enough, held it enough, believed it to rebuy again a couple of times to make it last through the barren desert of the bear market? Another one is there a strong community, which kind of ties in with the way that you can survive a bear market? Is there people that are going to hold on for dear life these coins, or that they know they're always going to buy once it gets down to a certain price? An easy example that I'm not going to talk about too is XRP. I've heard so many times about the XRP army, right? I think that's a little silly. Again and again, two of the coins I'll talk about today kind of have something like that, but let you know that there is a large group of people that are identifying around it. They're going to hold on to it. It's not going to go to zero. There's a huge fan base, just like anything else, a TV show, a sport, and if there's enough people around that like it, it's going to last. This one might be a little bit more on the controversial side. You may or may not agree with this, but I'm looking at real world use. Is there utility? Is there going to be something about a crypto or a project that is going to make an actual impact on the world? Does it have use? Does it work with banking? Does it work with helping AI videos, Instagram? Does it help out with algorithms? Are people going to use it, even if they don't know about it? Which that's going to happen a lot in crypto in the future, by the way. Even some right now you might be using this blockchain technology and have no idea. Like, so does it have a real world use? It's going to make it safe. Why is memes, for example, the biggest reason that they're unsafe is that there's a couple reasons, but one of the big ones is there's no use for it. Well, people just hold them until they decided they shouldn't hold them anymore. There's no rhyme or reason really behind it. And the last big category I'm putting in today of what I'm looking for in a safe crypto is very similar to the one above, is narrative or utility. All right, like it has real world use. Is it something that people will actually care about? Like there's a lot of narratives that we'll hear routinely because people care about them. AI, tokenization, real world assets, gaming, DeFi deep in to a certain extent. But like this bull run, sorry for people who are into it, like NFTs, I don't see as a big thing right now. I wouldn't consider it safe. It had a pretty awkward but large run last bull run, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not hearing people talk about it back to the community. So I'm not really seeing that as a safer utility. I'm not saying NFTs aren't going to do well. I don't look into them enough, honestly, to tell you too much about it. But so those are my criteria of how I build up this category or list of 5 in there of what I think are safe coins that right now I could put in money, forget about it for a little while, and be very confident when up. Let's get started. So the first one I'll talk about, if you've been here with me a couple of times, you've probably heard me talk about this one. I'm talking Hedera, wonderful H bar. So again, what makes this one safe? Why am I saying this? One, it hits all the criteria that I mentioned earlier. Let's dive a little bit more into that right now. So one, it's ranked number 15 for a market cap size. We can actually bring this up right now to take a look. So with Hedera sitting at 30 cents, it's 11.75 billion market cap. It's going to take a lot for it to move down. And when we look, we've got, okay, the last week hasn't been too much, but we expand out. So by the way, do this whenever you look at a crypto that you're panicking about because it just dive bombed. Usually it's not just that crypto, unless there was some bad news that came out about it, or it just pumped and it's retracing. But usually it happens to all crypto or a narrative. So whenever you're not sure, you can zoom out. Like I just went from we'll go to the 1 week here. Doesn't look great on the 1 week, but look at the 1 month chart. That's looking pretty darn good. It's going generally up, and we're expecting another tick really soon. Let's back up a little further. Again, pretty bullish on the chart of boom, things we look for. So the reason why I would say that H bar Hedera is safe is one, look at who's behind it. If you don't know, they have the governing council. I mentioned this a few times. I should probably start getting a list of them. They have like a circle diagram on their website. I can just put it behind me so I can just start pointing every time I talk about this. But when you have companies like IBM, Dell, Aberdeen, Google, these guys that they're not only just investing their money, they're investing their resources and time and trying to help push this for the governing council, saying, hey, I think that Hedera should do this or we should use it this way. That's a power team there, right? And they just, non-official so far, but with SpaceX, right? Elon Musk himself used Hedera technology to send the last satellite into space. So it's not going anywhere. The amount of freaking use that Hedera has, it hits much more than one narrative. I usually just call it the real world asset or the tokenization, but I mean, it's coming in with AI a little bit. It made partnership with NVIDIA, helping out with technology inside of GPU and CPUs. Comes from Karate Combat, an entire martial arts promotion. Hedera's in a damn near everything. They're even working on GPS control, where this is more speculation, so take this with a grain of salt. But I think it was Nexus or Nexi. Got to relook into that one. that they're partnering up with to help out with, it appears, satellite controlling of drones. And we have things like Amazon or Uber Eats, DoorDash that are talking about in the future, not too long from now, of having drones run to deliver things. It could end up running on Hedera. Again, that one is a little speculation, but there's been deep pieces that I've researched, looked into. I'll talk, if it becomes official, trust me, we'll talk about it for sure. Again, it's been around for a while. It's in the category people consider dino coins. I mean, they're fucking old, and really, they're old for crypto. They're really not that old, but they've survived through bear markets and bull markets. We've watched it go up and then plummet and survived. And it's already coming up, and it's been one of the few coins that's held really strong the last couple of weeks, as there's been a lot of volatility in the market. So the next one on this list, before I just jump in, I'm hoping to hear some arguments on this one. So again, my opinion, and I'll go ahead and defend it to a certain extent. Screw it. So Polygon. All right, so this one has not done great this bull run. I've got no problems admitting it, because you can look at a chart, or if you own it or bought it, you can see it hasn't been wonderful. However, I still think it's incredibly safe, specifically at the price point it's at right now. So let's pull that one up real briefly. So here at CoinMarketCap, we've got Polygon. Again, this one is on the smaller end that we're going to talk about today. In market caps, it's at 771 million. It has survived a while. Again, just go back to this one. It's done so much. It has so many different programs and dApps and everything that runs onto it. No, a lot of people have heard of it. So actually, I didn't realize it was so low on the market cap list. It's not even the top 100 right now. And I still would have no problems putting money down into Polygon. I'm waiting for it to really get its big boost to go up. And I think it will have its time. It was relatively stable for a long time. A lot of coins did not stay. And for crypto, I consider that relatively stable. Not a lot were able to do that. So I think Polygon's another good bet. It's a cheaper coin. Not like that actually matters, but it usually makes us feel a little bit better that we're not paying $100 plus for a coin. 40 cents, not too bad. And it does run on Ethereum. So as Ethereum does better, which that has been a little lacking this cycle as well, not concerned. I think Polygon's another incredibly safe bet. As always, recommend taking a look into it. Next one, another one I do own. I love this coin. I still buy, not every week by any means, but I put a little bit in somewhat routinely. And this is Quant, QNT. Again, I really don't think that you can have a safer play. Is it going to 10x or 20x right now in this year? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think any of on this list will. But I do think this one's still going to do incredibly well. And it's so safe in my mind that this is the one coin that if I don't sell all during this bull run, I don't care. I would like to, because that means it hit price points that I got, made a crap ton of money. Awesome. But if I get stuck with it at the end of this, I'm okay. I've got literally no fear that this coin is going to go through the next several bear and bull markets. It's being looked at and used by the Bank of London, BIS, Bank of International Settlements. It's being test ran for the Bank of Japan, for the Bank of Australia, to help run CBDCs. It's going to be talked about and helping to push regulation because, not for nothing. You want to know what's going to be safe? Is crypto that banks and governments want to use. Right? It's why people are so excited on edge about HBAR, for example. Same thing with XRP. Is that if big money, people that have to play with 7 to 9 figures, and they're using it, they're testing it, they're running it, it's going to be a great play. I think personally long term, and I think this is a very safe one. It's had several spikes every time the whole ISO narrative or Dino Coin narrative, which I think is still going to be the next big narrative to pump. My guess is if not sooner, it's going to be by March when they start talking about the ISO regulations of how they're going to deal with digital currency and CBDCs. And a lot of people know about Quant. A lot of people have been holding it for years. And when I just go on and I see it on X or other YouTube or Reddit channels, and people are talking about they're willing to hold it till 2030, till 2040. Like if it takes them a while for it to hit $10,000, $15,000, they'll hold on it until then. They're in no rush. There are so many long-term holders of this coin. You can actually go ahead and look at Follow Wallets, and I'll probably pull this up on a video sometime, but you can look to see how much of a crypto is in a different wallet. And Quant, granted, I got reasons to believe why they're doing this, but they have a couple of wallets that every couple of months, or when Quant goes down to a certain resistance line, thousands are bought and goes into, there's a couple of these wallets that have nothing but Quant. There's no Ethereum, there's nothing else, which suggests it's not going to go for gas exchanges. They're not using it for trading. So it could be reserves, it could be for staking that's going to come in the future, it could be for banks just building up their Quant reserve. I'm not entirely sure, but also I don't really care because they're buying it and they're holding it with nothing else in there to get rid of it. So Quant up there, God tier coin to me, and incredibly safe if you want something short term or long term at very small chance that you're making much of a risk on this one. Second to last one, I do not own this one. Really just comes down to you can only buy so many crypto, or at least I feel you should only own so many. But I keep an eye on this one, and this is AVAX Avalanche. So again, repeat kind of what I said for most crypto so far. It survived bull runs. A lot of people know about it. It runs a lot of programs and dApps. There are a lot of crypto that run right now on or with Avalanche, and several of them I'm sure you've heard of before. Chainlink, The Graph, Aave, Beam, many more of them. Avalanche is kind of setting itself up, it's been doing this for a while, to kind of not fully run, but have a niche into gaming. Something about their programming is good for that. I'm not that type of nerd. I don't know what's going on that front, but I see it happen a lot. They do a lot of the gaming aspects, and it hasn't really ran up yet, which again, I see as a great sign because I fully believe it's going to. There's a couple times I almost hopped in so far in the last year or two, but I usually, obviously I haven't yet. You have to choose the up bags I have because I don't like having more than about 5 or 7 coins because trying to keep up with everything is tough, at least to the extent that I feel like I should keep up with everything. But I think Avalanche, it's narrative, right? It's a layer. Okay. I was going to say it's a layer 1. Technically, it's a layer 0 for whatever Dwee wants to comment about that in the comments. Go right ahead. But I mean, a lot of programs, everything can be built around it. There's certain narratives that are just safer. Probably just look back at what I've already talked about so far. But things like layer 1s are, in general, incredibly safe because they have a lot of other crypto programs that are built upon it. So if you have a general, we'll just go with Avalanche. Let's say if Avalanche has 100 programs or crypto that runs on it, that's 100 different crypto that is putting in work and effort in the Avalanche blockchain that's going to help Avalanche get profits and stay afloat regardless, right? And then so the more programs or the more crypto that are running on a different layer 1 or layer 0, the more likely it is going to hold and survive. So layer 1s are incredibly safe. For this bull run at least, I think real world assets and tokenization is incredibly safe. I think tokenization is going to kind of be there long term. I mean, you have freaking BlackRock talking about trying to tokenize the stock market with Ondo, and still waiting for Hedera to get in on that one. We'll see. And last but not least, fake aerodrome roll, Aerodrome Finance. So I've recently gotten back into this coin. Actually, when I started writing down ideas of which ones I'm going to do for this video, that's when I went back and like, I noticed Aerodrome was dropping a little bit. I jumped back into this one. It did me very well earlier this year. I've done a video or 2 on that one. Feel free to check them out. But Aerodrome is Coinbase's DEX, or really it's the DEX decentralized exchange for Base and Optimism ecosystems, which I might use synonymously with Coinbase. It's not really Coinbase, but it's also not Coinbase. So the better Coinbase does, or Base ecosystem tokens do, Aerodrome's going to be used just for doing trading, buying, selling through Base and Optimism. And it's financially backed and supported by Coinbase. Coinbase really doesn't choose losers, and it really helps run their system. And again, I saw a great opportunity to hop into it. Actually, let's pull up the chart. See here, just in the last month, it was right around that $1.60 mark. And then we've had a lot of crypto. You can look a lot of altcoins, specifically ones that were outside the top 25 to 50, look kind of like this, gradual down, hit right at that dollar mark, right under, very momentarily for what, an hour, not even, bounced right back up to $1.35 and came back down. When I started seeing it drop under that 125 zone, that's when I started taking it a little bit more seriously again. I got in at, I think it was $1.01, and then right after the entire China and deep sink fiasco that everyone overreacted heavily in the market, and I saw it drop down to 89 cents, scooped up a lot more of that shit. So yeah, Aerodrome. The reason why I think it's so safe. So this one does not hit all the criteria. It's new, relatively new, just over a year old. Maybe it's not even a year old yet. I want to say it was like February of 2024. So it has not survived through a bull run yet. So based on the criteria, can't say that's technically safe specifically for a long term, but I still think it is because it runs Coinbase's base ecosystem. All right, and Coinbase is the second largest financial exchange out there for crypto, right behind Binance, and it will take pretty much just the omen of the world to come in to stop this one from happening in the short term run. So Airdrome Finance, another great one. It's at a low price point. It's got a good move for market cap. It's already been double what it is now earlier in 2024 around all the April, May craze because people remembered that Bitcoin exists as the halving happened. So there you guys have it. And I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you. I'm out.